Hey everyone, it truly is. You know that whole LibCon moniker, how you describe those who represent the establishment on the left and the right these days in Canada? It's so true. That's why it sticks and resonates with so many people because these days it's so hard to tell. Well, historically, it used to be that the conservatives were the ones that were just so conservative. They wouldn't let you have any fun, right? But they were real good with money. Like, ooh, economically, they were prudent. Whereas the liberals, historically, were like, oh, they're all about giving you lots of social freedoms. Have fun, do your thing, but reckless with spending, like really irresponsible. Don't know much about economics today, though. Like I say, look at it. They're so, not only they flip flop so far on things, but they've actually become so closely aligned to each other. It's like you can't tell one side from the other anymore. It's like, well, like I've said so many times before, you want authoritarian mommy or do you want authoritarian daddy? Which one do you want? That's about your only options today when you're talking about those who represent the left or the right. Which is why I say reject the left-right bullcrap and let's stand for liberty. You know, the kind of things that Maxime and the PPC stands for. Let's try treating Canadians like actual adults. What a novel idea. What a novel concept. Because the liberals these days, the only thing liberal about them is their willingness to place restrictions on almost everything that you do. And they're not looking to restrict it, they're looking to make money from it as another means or a measure to punish you. Of course, they also benefit. They look at it as, oh, I'm going to punish you for doing something by charging you like a carbon tax. But hey, on the other side of that, I also get the benefit because I'm a recipient of that carbon tax. So that's kind of a double whammy and a double benefit for them and a big old loss for you and your freedoms. Headline out of CBC News Politics: Ontario Liberal MPs eye soda tax idea for October election campaign. MP back an idea says new revenue would fund school lunch program, fight obesity, and save healthcare dollars. It's being reported by Katie Simpson, May 26, 2019. The liberals today. It's the liberals. It's not even the cons, right? You would think the cons would be the ones that could come up with this sugar tax, but no, like I say, libcons, two wings of the same bird. And in this particular example, it's your authoritarian libs that are looking to tax your sweet tooth or any of your sugary sweet consumption habits. I mean, the funny part, even when you think about it, they were not just placed at the back of the bus, proverbially, as far as the election results, you know, when Doug Ford come to power. I mean, they weren't even, what was it, 7 seats? They didn't even have enough left to form an actual official party. And their first endeavor, their first step after that major defeat is what, offering stuff like this? Obviously, they haven't learned any lesson whatsoever. And just shows once again how out of touch they are. What they do, sit around on a round table in one of their gated communities somewhere, talk about this stuff? Because they obviously haven't talked to average Canadians if they think that this is a good idea. Because once again, who do you think is going to suffer in opposing this kind of tax? Well, it's the working poor, the wealthy, the elite, right? A little bit of a tax on sugary drinks, oh, they don't care. It's an extra cost for a wealthy person on what, a pop, right? They don't care. But for the poor, the working poor in particular, that's a big deal. So who are they truly targeting with this? Yep, the working poor. Which, like I said, just goes to show, once again, how out of touch these liberal elitists truly are. Ontario Liberal MPs want to pitch voters on a sugary sweetened beverage levy, more commonly known as a soda tax. See how, that's the thing with the leftists, is because they do have some creativity. That's the thing about that leftist kind of orthodoxy, or the people that align with leftism, is they do have a lot of creativity, and look how creative they can be in their writings or the rhetoric they espouse. In a coming federal election campaign, according to a list of caucus platform priorities obtained by CBC News. While the proposal is ranked 18th out of 19 items on the list, several MPs are pushing hard to include it in the platform for the October election, and to link it to funding for a program to provide healthy lunches to grade school students nationwide. I'm certainly fighting for it. I think it's something that could really be an important part of a platform, but we'll see, Toronto Liberal MP Julie Dabrison told CBC News. The platform priorities list includes a 2-page summary of the soda tax proposal written by Ajax MP Mark Holland, a former senior executive at the Heart and Stroke Foundation. It says the revenue generated by a new tax could be used to create a national healthy lunch program for Canadian schools. Because, Canadians are just, I guess, young kids that are going to school, I guess they're just starving so bad that they need central planners to tax their parents and cause more economic harm to them to change or shift their habits or behaviors, because I guess what? They got no other way to do that. Dang, these people really don't think critically at all or think outside the box other than what? Using force. That's the thing. Once you become a representation of force or violence, which is what government is, folks, is, I guess, like that old expression, if the only tool is a hammer, well, everything else better start looking like a nail. Anyways, folks, I'll place a link to this article in the description of the video below. I'm going to try to keep most of these, especially when it's talking about pertain to a particular article such as this. I don't want to waste too much time. I know a lot of you folks have a lot of things you got to do, so I'm going to try to get more straight to the point in regards to dealing with these articles and issues. But there are times when I do got to delve down a little bit deeper into it to get to the nuanced aspect of what they're trying to convey or portray. But in this instance, yeah, they just want to tax you, based on your sweet tooth habits, like I say. That, once again, the liberals, what's liberal about them anymore? I don't even know why people continue to support these people, especially if you want to identify as a liberal. It's like, if you are generally a liberal, or if you generally identify as a liberal or a progressive, where you're I don't know, aren't you supposed to be expanding on people's freedoms and stuff? What's progressive about taxing people's consumption habits? So what? I don't find that progressive at all. I find that very regressive, which is why I just, like I say, I can't understand why people want to support the liberals. Well, I guess you're just still relying on the branding. Well, once again, you should start to recognize and realize at some point in time, just because they're using the label or the branding that they call or identify as liberal, well, listen, it's not really correlating. It's not showing that the proof is in the pudding that they are actual liberals. As a matter of fact, all the proof that I've been seeing, especially in recent years, especially under the Trudeau regime, is, or Kathleen Wynne's liberals, or these Ontario liberals, is no, they're very much authoritarian. They're very much busybodies, and they're all about trying to control, micromanage, dictate every area of your social and economic lives. I say no, and as an Ontarian, you should say no too. So, good day, Libertarian, and I love liberty.